The little box sings to guide all things, but makes us shush to hear. Box sings. Shout out to Mega. Shout out to both sides. I'm going to show you how the individual voice of leaders is maintained criminally foreign influence tactically by the people helping them and or hurting them as collusion with use/s of criminal insidiousness natures of positive treatments. I am not a lawyer, not a police woman, not a doctor. There's proof that one of the people that was complaining about me on YouTube is one of the people involved, like a Joshua Julian is one of the people on Facebook, a page of a principal child abuser, including with upskirt pictures, other kinds of natures of sexual and medical abuses of kids, including with families of the police forms of the school, including with retired police chiefs and medical families, changing and faking what's recorded on a mass scale. So we're going to examine how we're using hyper-evidential too. I don't even know if Judge Napolitano's seen my post, or they change things too. See the difference? There's guilt roles with this preaching method as hyper foreign, and it needs to keep other things, others, or selves blamed for things it caused and keeps. It had possession over the people that rule all the different countries that have roles with secrets they're supposed to keep about how they're on and off campuses together, but it's over they can't to keep it. In other words, suits and ties, counters. The sciences, if we examine their, and how they get away with it, you can't leave out how they're putting faked and changed phone transcripts, including with police phones, families, intercities connected to the same one, /s, and people, a whole bunch of people tied to them who've been stacking predicate acts with fax rolls with former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and his co-defendants and their family members, telling fake things to the leaders of kids. They have some black KKK Confederate flag thing. They aren't even know all their names, and they switch names. As ones who have old roles of all sides in criminal and civil cases, and the interbranch family members at the same time. The difference between that and the intelligence tied to them, like in their state offices, like the state corrections offices, the state judicial branch offices. That's why there's corruption at campus, like at the prisons too, like Sandy Hook campuses. Increasingly has roles with intelligence community tied to an Omni place on the South Stein Highway, and with people from Pakistani families, and people from Germany, people from Italy, involved with the corner of South Stein Highway, Town Line Drive. All kind of planting evidences, and in that place is fake transcripts. They use all natures of investigators. They call things politics. This breaching method knew that no one would be able to speak for the law. Therefore, it knew that no one would be able to speak for the names of the law property. Otherwise, that body would be sensed. So then they sense, and then they start planting evidence as roles. There were reports that they presented fake social media postings by somewhere on YouTube. I'm gonna look that up, try to find it again. Sometimes I see good things. A good app would be if you could list, you're gonna want something. Boom, you press that, and it was in this YouTube video. It's this thing. It helps you organize. Otherwise, no one's gonna have time to take all the notes, then we can't say as much. In other words, because we're gonna appreciate the hyper-evidential, which can be discerned, like for which trials are about. All sides regarding that in the past, even if it was completely made up. It was about that breaching method, that torture, extortion, slavery method, and the difference between that use /s roles, or that body was sensed, including if it was a majority of people, including if it was everyone, including if it was everyone and any grouping of humanity. This breach, if a grouping of humanity is above all names A through Z, has humanity's countries' names above all locations, areas, and states, still using still self-valued use /s of criminally foreign influence /tactically /hyper-tactically delusions wrought. convictions and conviction nature with fact-treating nature quality, aspect, and nature. So this generates more wrongdoers on a mass scale since semi-ancient times. Prepare.